There are 6 questions the Social Security Administration will never call to ask you. But if your answer to even one of them is yes, your check could get smaller this year, and you may not find out until a letter lands in your mailbox. You don't need a yes on all 6. One is enough. And the question that blindsides the most people is built on a rule that quietly changed in late 2024, which we'll come back to. Before the list, meet Kara Kendall. She lives in Miami Township, Ohio, and one day she opened an envelope from Social Security telling her she owed the government more than $17,000 tied to her disability benefits. She told the I-team at News Center 7 in Dayton that she went into full panic. And when the reporter asked what actually caused the overpayment, her answer was that she never got a single piece of information. Social Security never explained it. They just sent the bill and then cut her only monthly income nearly in half to collect it. Kara didn't do anything wrong. She got caught in a system that often can't explain its own mistakes before it demands the money back. Keep her in mind, because question 2 is exactly what happened to her. Question 1. Are you collecting Social Security before your full retirement age while still working a job? If you won't reach full retirement age this year, Social Security holds back $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above $24,480 for the year. If you do reach full retirement age sometime in 2026, that limit jumps way up to $65,160, and the rate softens to $1 held for every $3 over, counting only the months before your birthday month. Here's what that looks like with real numbers. A 64-year-old who claimed early and takes a part-time job paying $50,000 a year is $25,520 over the limit. That triggers $12,760 in withheld benefits for the year. If that person collects around $1,900 a month, more than half of their yearly benefit just evaporated. Now here's the part Social Security does not put in bold. That money is not gone forever. Once you hit full retirement age, they recalculate your benefit and give you credit for the months that were withheld. So your monthly check goes up from there. You get most of it back over time, just not on the timeline you were planning around. If this is you, call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 and give them your estimated earnings up front so they can spread out the withholding instead of surprising you later. Question 2. Have you ever gotten an overpayment notice from Social Security, even one you thought was settled years ago? This is the rule that is whipped back and forth more than any other. In March of 2024, the agency capped the default clawback at 10% of your monthly check, after years of reporting on people losing their entire benefit overnight. Then, in March of 2025, they reversed it and moved back toward taking 100%. After the backlash, they landed where things sit right now, which is up to 50% of a monthly retirement or disability check and 10% for SSI, withheld automatically if you don't respond. Here is the number that should make everyone pause. Social Security's own watchdog found that roughly 73,000 overpayments in a single year, worth more than $368 million, came from the agency's own calculation errors. Transposed numbers, wrong birth dates, not anything the beneficiary did. So if you ever get one of these notices, you have 3 moves, and most people only know about the first. You can file Form SSA 561 to challenge whether the overpayment is even real. You can file Form SSA 634 to ask for a smaller monthly repayment rate if 50% would sink you. Or you can file Form SSA 632 to request a full waiver if the mistake wasn't your fault and paying it back would be a hardship. And here's the timing that matters most. If you contact them within 30 days, collection never starts while they review your request. Wait and do nothing, and the automatic withholding kicks in at roughly 90 days. Filing fast beats filing perfectly. This is the kind of change we track the week it happens, because these rules move faster than anyone can follow on their own. Question 3 catches a group of people almost nobody warns. Question 3. Did you get married, get divorced, or change who you live with in the past year while receiving SSI? Marriage triggers something called spousal deeming, where part of your new spouse's income gets counted against you, even though it isn't your money. In 2026, the most an individual can get from federal SSI is $994 a month, and the most a couple can get is $1,491. Once your spouse's countable income climbs past roughly $497 a month, Social Security starts treating you as a couple, which can shrink your payment or wipe it out. The flip side that nobody mentions is that a divorce can actually raise your SSI, because on paper, your household income just dropped. There's also a $3,000 combined resource limit for couples, even when only one of you is on SSI. So a new spouse's savings account suddenly gets folded into your math. Either way, a change in marital status has to be reported within 10 days after the end of the month it happened, and missing that window is how a lot of these turn into overpayment letters down the road. Question 4. Is a family member or a roommate helping cover your rent, your utilities, or your groceries while you're on SSI? This is the one built on the rule that changed. It's called in-kind support and maintenance, and for years, it could shave money off your check if anyone helped with your food or your housing. Here is the good news most creators completely missed. As of late 2024, food no longer counts. A relative buying your groceries, a friend covering a meal, none of that reduces your SSI anymore. Only help with shelter still counts, meaning rent, mortgage, property taxes, and utilities. When shelter help does apply, the reduction is capped at $351.33 a month for an individual. And if you actually live in someone else's household and they cover your housing, the hit is a flat 1/3 of your benefit, about $331. There's also a big exception. If everyone in your home receives public assistance like SSI, SNAP, or TANF, Social Security generally doesn't count this support at all. If you're not sure whether your living situation qualifies, ask them directly instead of guessing and risking a cut you didn't need to take. Question 5. Do you have more than $2,000 in countable resources as an individual or $3,000 as a couple while receiving SSI? Here's the quiet trap. This limit has not moved since 1989. If it had simply kept pace with inflation, it would sit somewhere around $10,000 today. Instead, it's frozen where it was almost 4 decades ago. So a modest cushion that felt completely safe can now put you over the line. Social Security checks your resources on the very first day of every month, which means a tax refund or a holiday gift landing at the wrong moment can knock you out of eligibility for that month. Some things don't count, like your primary home and one vehicle. But a second savings account, an old life insurance policy with a face value over $1,500, or retirement money you can access, can all push you over without a warning. If you want to save more without losing SSI, there is a legal tool for it, an ABLE account. And starting in 2026, the door opened wider. Anyone whose disability began before age 46 can now open one. And the first $100,000 inside is completely ignored for SSI. It's one of the only ways to build real savings and stay eligible. Question 6. Did you forget to report a change to Social Security inside the required window? Most changes, whether it's income, an address, a marital status, or a living arrangement, have to be reported within 10 days after the end of the month they happened. Missing that window is one of the most common ways an overpayment gets created in the first place, which loops you right back to question 2 and that 50% withholding. The fix is easy. Report it through your My Social Security account online by calling 1-800-772-1213 or in person at your local office. Getting ahead of a change is almost always simpler than untangling an overpayment after the fact. So there's your list. 6 questions and 1 yes is all it takes to feel it this year. Working before full retirement age can hold back over half your annual benefit. An old overpayment notice, even one caused entirely by Social Security's own error, could be taking 50% of your check right now. A marriage or a move can trigger deeming and shrink your SSI. Help with rent can quietly trim it, though thanks to the 2024 change, grocery help no longer can. A resource limit frozen since 1989 can disqualify people who feel safely under it. And a missed 10-day report can create the very bill that costs you the most. None of this is theoretical. These are the active rules for 2026, and Social Security is not going to call and walk you through which ones fit your life. So do one small thing. Send this to someone you know who's on Social Security or SSI, because the odds are good that at least one of these 6 questions lands on them. And right now, they have no idea.